One requirement in starting an LLC is choosing a registered agent address. The purpose of the registered agent address is to receive any lawsuits, any sort of legal notices, or any sort of legal letters. When hearing the word address, what comes to mind? Possibly a home address, a P.O. box, a rental address, etc. In today's video, I am going to talk to you about how to choose the right registered agent address to maintain privacy and to stay legally compliant. Hi, my name is Andrew. I'm the managing attorney here at Freedom Through Business, where we help entrepreneurs start their businesses, grow their businesses, while staying legally compliant. The purpose of these videos are to provide as much clarity and guidance in the beginning stages of starting a business. So if you haven't already, please make sure you hit the like, subscribe, as well as the bell notification so you don't miss out on any future videos. These videos are for educational purposes only, and so make sure you speak with a professional prior to doing anything. And so with that side note out of the way, let's go ahead and talk about the 4 registered agent address mistakes to avoid. Starting first with the home address. Using one's home address as the registered agent address is legally compliant. It does in fact satisfy the requirement. However, the issue arises if an entrepreneur wants to be able to maintain their privacy, specifically with respect to their home address, then they're not going to want to use their home address as their registered agent address. As I mentioned previously in the beginning of this video, the purpose of the registered agent is to receive any sort of lawsuits, legal notices, legal letters, etc. And so in this case, if an entrepreneur decides to use their home address as their registered agent address, one, it may be publicly available, which means that when an individual, a random person, a potential customer, potential client, searches on the Secretary of State the business that the entrepreneur owns, if that entrepreneur uses their home address as their registered agent address, then their home address may be publicly available through that search. Additionally, if an entrepreneur uses their home address in the event that a lawsuit is initiated towards that entrepreneur, then the person giving notice will be the one to knock on that entrepreneur's door. Again, they have the home address. The home address is used as the registered agent address, and that is where the legal notice will be given. And so in order to avoid this, in order to maintain one's privacy when it comes to a registered agent address, the best option is going to be choosing a third-party registered agent to act as the registered agent. And this can include a family member, a friend, again, a family member, a friend that you can trust, not just your random stranger off the road. Those are options. However, if they use their home addresses, do keep in mind that may be publicly made known. Another option is to look for a third-party provider that provides registered agent addresses. It can be either a monthly fee or it can be a yearly fee depending on the service provider. But if an entrepreneur wants to maintain their home address, they are not going to want to use their home address as their registered agent. This brings me to the second registered agent address mistake to avoid, and that's going to be using a P.O. box. Using a P.O. box as a registered agent address is not permitted whatsoever. And the reason for this is in the event a lawsuit is initiated towards the entrepreneur, notice has to be given to someone, and that someone has to be a living person, someone who is 18 years of age or older. It cannot be a P.O. box because the person serving the legal notice cannot serve a P.O. box because a P.O. box cannot be put on notice. In order to put someone on notice, they must serve a real person. So, in short, do not use a P.O. box as one's registered agent address. The third registered agent address mistake to avoid is going to be using one's rental house as the registered agent address. And what I mean by this is when it comes to leasing a property to rent, maybe it's a lease contract of 1 year or more on a continual yearly basis. In that event, when that lease contract is entered into, there are terms that may restrict an entrepreneur from being able to use that rental property as one's registered agent address. And so if an entrepreneur out there is currently renting an apartment, renting a home, a single family home, etc., make sure to review the contract prior to using the address, associating that address with one's business. Make sure the lease contract has no restrictions allowing one to use the rental address as the registered agent address. And the fourth and final registered agent address mistake to avoid is confusing a registered agent address with a business address. A registered agent address and a business address are two separate things. Both are required and both serve different purposes. A registered agent address receives legal notices, legal letters, etc., while a business address receives business letters, letters from banks to get business loans, letters from third parties, potential individuals wanting to work with that entrepreneur, etc. Keep in mind that the two are different. A registered agent address is different from a business address. However, both are required when starting an LLC. If you happen to have any questions about anything that I talked about in today's video with respect to choosing the right registered agent address, make sure you click the link in the description box below to book your free call with a professional who can help you better understand how to choose the appropriate registered agent address. If you happen to enjoy this video, please make sure you hit the like, subscribe, as well as the bell notification so you don't miss out on any future videos. It's time to invest in yourself. It's time to rise.